Houston, 70 minutes before tip-off at the Toyota Center, the pregame scene was all too familiar. On one side of the floor, Kevin Porter Jr. was going through last-minute drills with Houston Rockets lead assistant John Lucas. On the other, veteran point guard John Wall was working with a trainer on his patented mid-range jumper. The only difference now from a year ago was that Wall was wearing Clippers blue, having signed with Los Angeles as a free agent in July after securing a buyout from Houston. Wall's return wasn't filled with the same dramatics that accompanied former stars re-entering the building like James Harden, Chris Paul or even Russell Westbrook, despite the fact Westbrook's exit from the franchise had underlying elements of confusion and mystery. When Wall strolled onto the court, it was nothing but love. He and Lucas shared a warm embrace before greeting general manager Rafael Stone and the team trainers. Wall stopped to catch up with familiar faces around the arena and was nothing but smiles and laughs as he took in the atmosphere. He was introduced to cheers when he subbed into the game with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Porter typically sports a concentrated, stern look before games, but it was impossible not to be happy for his former teammate. In a lot of ways, all of this was for Porter. When Wall and Stone addressed the media before the 2021-22 season, it was to essentially be out of the way and let the young guys grow. The mutual decision between Wall and Houston to go their separate ways this past summer was to finally pave way for Porter to take the reins as the point guard of the future. Kevin Porter Jr. and John Wall with the Rockets. Michael Wyke, USA Today. When Porter was first sent down to the G League 2 years ago to get an early grasp of the type of system Rockets head coach Stephen Silas ran, it was to prepare him for what was to come. Wall had initially arrived in Houston in 2020 expecting to contend, especially with Harden and Christian Wood still on the roster, but it soon became apparent his role was transitioning to one of a teacher. As much experience as playing as a point guard would help the then 20-year-old, there would be nothing like learning from one of the NBA's best floor generals. He left a lasting impression on Porter. John has impacted me tremendously, Porter told The Athletic. Just him being a big brother and a vet when he was here when I was first switching my position. I had a great vet to lean on, and that was John Wall. Everyone knows what he was able to do in his early and late years in the league. Injuries haven't favored him, but as far as the player, he knows how to run a team. He helped me when I was trying to learn how to run a team, and seeing him back out there was a blessing. I knew he wanted to be out there, play and do what he loves to do, and that's hoop. Seeing him out there smiling and running, it's a great feeling. At 1-8, it's no secret the rebuilding Rockets have struggled out of the gate. Their schedule hasn't been particularly kind to them. 6 of their first 9 games have come against contenders: Atlanta, Milwaukee, Memphis, Phoenix, and 2 consecutive Clippers fixtures. The remaining games have been against Utah and Portland, 2 surprising teams in the NBA, currently occupying 2nd and 3rd in the Western Conference, respectively. There's no doubt the player Porter is today is better than the one who showed up on Houston's doorstep after a tumultuous tenure in Cleveland. Being able to shadow a former All-Star and All-NBA guard has its perks. Porter has always been regarded as a gifted talent, but the time spent alongside Wall allowed him to further tap into his offensive package, making him a better all-around player than when he first donned a Rockets jersey. The growth doesn't come without peaks and troughs, but there's something there. It's why Houston rewarded Porter with a 4-year, $82.5 million extension before this season. There's real internal belief in his abilities and connection with Jalen Green, his backcourt partner. Season points: G Rebs, G assist, G steals, G 3P %, 2019, 103.22.20.933, 52020, 2116.63.86.30.731, 12021, 2215.64.46.21.137, 52022, 2320.46.45.41.634.8. Scoring improvements aside, it's Porter's progress as a lead ballhandler that will be Wall's lasting legacy. Porter's assists, 5.4, are slightly down early, and his turnovers, 3.6, are slightly up per game compared to last season. But those are more factors of Houston's issues with injuries, consistency, and chemistry than Porter's progress. His numbers would be higher if the Rockets were making more shots. As the adage goes, you need made baskets to generate assists. Porter's 11.9 potential assists per game are right up there with the likes of Draymond Green, 11.8, De'Aaron Fox, 12.3, and Stephen Curry, 12.8. Down the stretch last season, Porter acknowledged the game started to slow down for him by being able to read defenses at a faster pace and have a better understanding of angles and where his teammates are supposed to be. As a result, he's able to set up Houston's half-court offense when needed. Silas still wants his group to play fast and not have to rely on a bevy of play calls, but good teams don't let you obliterate them in transition all day. Watch as the Clippers try to blow this double drag, a Rockets staple, up. Porter splits the trap and freezes Ivica Zubac, forcing him to pick his poison. In drive and kick scenarios, Wall reigns supreme. YouTube is filled with highlight reels of Wall's best dimes over his career. Porter has been in Houston for 3 seasons but only recently crossed the 82-game threshold in starts, an important caveat for context purposes. He's still a young, developing player part of this rebuilding plan. The Rockets operate in a flow offense with simple base sets, forcing their players to read and react. The more he's put in scenarios against talented defensive units, the better his IQ will become. He's already proven capable of manipulating pick and rolls, drawing defenses in and finding open teammates on the perimeter. I learned where guys are supposed to be, when the pass is supposed to be made, when it's not supposed to be made, Porter said. Things like that, just being a floor general as well. For KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr., the decision-making has been really good, Silas said late last month. He is not turning it over like he did last year. You can see that him and Jalen Green have a good connection. It is about playing the game and playing well together, which is super important. As the Rockets press on during the season, they'll need to lean on Porter more. The bond between him and Silas is real, raw and emotional. The bond between him and Green also is critical. For years, Wall led the Washington Wizards alongside All-NBA guard Bradley Beal. It certainly wasn't always roses for that franchise, they've had their ups and downs. But Wall stayed even-keeled no matter the circumstances. Porter must do the same, but he's equipped for it. He's grown emotionally, mentally and spiritually as a person. He drew strength from watching Wall persevere through all of life's challenges, certain things he can relate to himself. Wall was always there for him. Porter is ready to do the same for his teammates. He was a big brother to me, Porter said. The knowledge and wisdom he gave me, it's only right that I give it to the young guys, Jalen and the rookies.